Hi everyone, I'm Robin Trimingham and I'm here with Bill Storie, the founder of Olderhood.com, and you're listening to Radio Olderhood, Retirement Happiness, a continuing series. So Bill, what's on your mind today?
Hi Robin, hi everybody. Don't really have much on my mind today. I'm been a
Well, you
busy
know
week
what?
as usual.
In my case, it's just the opposite. It's a rainy day and I've had too much on my mind today. And it got me thinking about what we should talk about this week. And I think one of the problems that older people face is that they have such a long history or catalog of things that they'd really be better off not thinking about so much anymore and just letting go. And they're not always so good at doing that.
You mean bad memories?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad memories, unhappy times, not getting along with people or family. And, this tends to come up anytime there's a big holiday or a family reunion. And you start dreading seeing people that you really, they're your kin. You really ought to be looking forward to seeing them once in
But
a
do you
while.
think that people should? Do you think that people, as they get older, regret some of that, and that they kind of get to a stage in their life where they sort of want to sort of come to the kiss and make up kind of a thing, and say, look, I'm sorry, or I wish I hadn't done that, or I apologise for this, or I mean, do you think people get there?
Well, I wish people would get there. They certainly should get there. But it's a very good question. I mean, how many people just kind of get set in their ways and they decided to be offended by some little thing or situation that happened 20 years ago, and from then on they're just not on speaking terms with that person.
Well, I think you find that. Well, I was going to say particularly with men. I'm not sure that's true, but certainly I've known. I mean, over the years, many guys who had been friends for life, um, and then just something one day happened, something snapped with one of them, and that was the end of a 20-year, 30-year, 40-year relationship. I actually remember a couple of guys way back that I worked with when I was at university. I did summer work in a factory, and I mean it was tough work. And there was a couple of guys there who had fought in the Second World War. They'd actually fought at El Alamein in the northern African desert, the Sahara, in Egypt. And I mean, they had been basically in the trenches, you might say. I mean, they had been through thick and thin, that they'd gone to school together, they'd lived together, they worked together, their families knew each other, they went off to war together, they fought together, etc. And then they ended up in the same country working for each other. And then just one day, after all of that, one of them said something, and the other guy just snapped, and they never spoke again for the rest of their life.
See, I think that's just sad.
Well, it is sad, but it's true though. I mean, it happens.
How do you walk away from a 30-year relationship or friendship or a lifetime family connection just because? I'm one of these people, call me altruistic, call me naive. I'll admit to both of those. So, I just think that, it's about you having the opportunity to grow, you being able to be the bigger person or the person who's able to forgive, and not worrying so much about what state the other guy is at.
Well, I think the thing with, as I said, maybe it's more acute with men, but I mean, men take that pig-headed attitude that says, I'm damned if I'm going to speak to him, or I'm damned if I'm going to walk across the floor. I mean, these two guys worked in the same department, which not that big a department, but I mean, it was a sizable place. It was a machine shop. So they would see each other every day. I mean, they would see each other 50 times a day. But they were pig-headed enough to say, I'm damned if I'm going to walk across the floor and say hi.
Well, and the saddest part is when you have a situation that involves family and they decide that so and so is just unforgivable and they'll never speak to them again and they have no time for them and they don't need them in their lives, and then this person they've been cursing turns up to be terminally ill, and they want to forgive, they want to spend time, and then they're too ashamed, they can't. You know, and
Yeah, it's sad.
I know a situation like that quite intimately, where half of the people involved now have to live with the fact that they wrote off a person who was terminally ill.
Yeah.
I mean, who does that?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. Who does it? But the fact is that people do it, and I think that, yes, you go on and regret it, when the person has passed or something like that. But it's a part of life. It's a fact of life that people are like that. I think, again, I keep going back to the main issue, but I think father and son, relationships are like that. Can be more like that perhaps than mother-daughter. I don't know.
Well,
but certainly father-son is.
I guess my situation, my perspective, it's going to be different in that I'm female. I've certainly know situations where there was mother-daughter controversy that never ended, or even father-daughter controversy that just really persisted to the end, with people unwilling to just let it go and just love with their hearts.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be, you can get into a situation where, you kind of walk away and you think, I wonder if I should go back and say hi, but you don't.
But you know what? Here's where I want to leave it today. Never ever miss the opportunity to forgive someone or to give them a hug or another chance. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? They continue to be themselves, but you grew a little bit. How could that possibly be a bad thing?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Anyway,
on that very happy note,
everybody, please be sure to check out our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/olderhoodcom, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.